What's going on? So everybody who watches MMA, UFC, understands the struggle of loving this sport and knowing nobody else to talk about with it. You know, like if you're in a friend group, you might have like 10 guys in the friend group. It's likely all of them watch NFL at least a little bit. All of them watch NBA at least a little bit. Even baseball, if you're in the UK, soccer, whatever, right? So everyone understands that. But UFC, I mean, if you got a big friend group, maybe one or two you watch UFC. Maybe one or two. And like even the ones who do might be like a little bit, oh yeah, I watch the main events and that's it. Or like, if McGregor ever fights again, I'll watch it type shit. So, every UFC fan I know has undoubtedly tried to put their friends onto the sport by watching a card or picking a random fight to watch, right? But the problem with that is we've all seen the memes. You throw in a card with your girl or with your friend or family, whatever, and it's like Irene Aldana in the main event or something, or just three women fights and then Bilal Muhammad smudging his way to victory. So that happens. I swear it happens every time I've tried it. When I just try to throw on a card with my friends, that happens, right? But then you throw on a card by yourself and it's Poirier versus Hooker, or it's like Buckley, that random fight night at the end of 2024, like Buckley versus Covington with like 7 straight knockouts on the card, and it happens. I swear it happens. So as someone who's been trying for years to make my friends fans and only recently started succeeding, this is the definitive top 5 best fights to put your boys on to the UFC. This is how to make them hardcores, I'm telling you, because I got friends now who are super into it, and I swear I started it. So McGregor versus Aldo. This is a great fight to show your friend first. Everybody knows who Conor McGregor is, even if they don't know what the UFC is. Like, he is bigger than the UFC itself, right? So this is a great fight to start with if you're trying to put your friend on, because they know who he is, right? The thing is, though, this is probably his best performance, but it's also his shortest fight by a lot. So I think a way to, fatten this fight up a little bit is to give them the lore behind the fight, because there's some crazy lore behind this fight, man. Like, you got McGregor, at the press conferences with Aldo, even the behind the scenes where he's stealing the belt and like he's calling him pussy in Aldo's language, right? Like there's some really good content, and the place to find this is a YouTube video. It's a 5-minute video. Well, it's a 3-part series with all 5-minute videos called "The Mental Destruction of Jose Aldo." If you're pressed for time, just show them part 1. And this literally just shows every moment in the press conference. It's almost like WWE, man. Like, it shows every moment in the press conference of McGregor just, like, completely dismantling Jose Aldo's ego. Like, just completely, like, draining him of his aura, So, this is a good way to start. And sometimes I do this with my friends if I'm trying to put them on. I'll throw that video on, and then I'll show them the fight, and they'll be like, damn, like, McGregor was that guy back in the day. So, yeah, I think this is a good fight to start with. I mean, 13-second KO, absolutely crazy backstory in the fight. Yeah, I just think that's a good place to start. But if you don't want to start there, start with Yuri Praska versus Dominic Reyes. So I always think the 2 main criteria for an exciting fight that even someone who has no interest even in MMA would enjoy are exciting fighting styles and brutal knockouts. Yuri Praska, like, he embodies this. He's my favorite fighter. He's fucking sick, and he embodies this in every way. Like, he has the most wild fighting style of all time. He has this hands down. He has the Muay Thai, the karate, and the judo, like, all like melded together in this unglorious thing called Yuri Prochazka. This guy is crazy. I mean, he fights like a madman. He has this wild style of like leaping in with straight rights and uppercuts, and like, I genuinely believe that in the history of human existence, no one's ever fought like Yuri. No one has. I just don't believe it. So in this fight, he sleeps Reyes with a wild spinning elbow after a dominant round 1. But the thing is, though, it's not just a one-sided fight, because he's also flash knockdown for a second with like an up kick from Reyes that could have ended the fight, honestly. I think the ref didn't realize that Yuri was out for like a good 2 seconds because he got up kicked. Like, who's expecting that? He gets up kicked. He gets up in round 2 after just being basically flatlined by Reyes, and hits him with a crazy, crisp, spinning elbow that just flattens him. So I think this is a crazy first fight to throw on. And like I said, it's not one-sided. Like, there's even moments in this fight where, like, Reyes is getting pieced up by Yuri, and he seems like he's rocked. He seems like he might even go out. And then he hits Yuri with, like, a really good 1-2. And this fight is during COVID, like prime COVID UFC, which is when I started watching. And like you can hear everything. There's no fans in the building. And like a straight right from Yuri, or like one of his uppercuts, or like the 1-2s the Reyes is returning with, they all sound like gunshots. Like, this is a crazy fight to watch. If you got a friend who you think is going to be locked in, this is the fight to throw on, man. I mean, Yuri Praska is just so entertaining. He's a must-watch fighter every time, and this is like his best performance, so this is a great fight to put on. The next fight I would only show to a specific type of person. That type of person is your anime friend. Your friend who like watches every anime every Sunday when it comes out, One Piece, Naruto, all that, right? You show him this fight. Every time I have a friend who likes anime and I'm trying to get him to UFC, I show him this fight, and I swear it's worked. This is an insane fight. I'm sure most of you have watched it. If you haven't, go watch it and come back, because I don't even want to spoil it. I feel like I'm spoiling the season finale if I tell you what happened. But I mean, going into this was the first fight I ever watched as a UFC fan. I came in during COVID, and all I knew was Conor McGregor and Anderson Silva. So I just typed Anderson Silva into YouTube, Anderson Silva full fight into YouTube, and this was the first thing that came up. And I throw it on, and you got the vibe that Anderson Silva's like the good guy. He's the main character. But Chael Sonnen is just clobbering him. He's just ground and pound. It's not even boring wrestling. He wrestles him and just beats the shit out of him on the ground. I think Chael Sonnen even has some moments on the feet against Silva, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't watched the fight in a while, but regardless, crazy fight. And the first 4.5 rounds are completely one-sided. It's like not close. You're watching the fight like, damn, I thought Anderson Silva was the GOAT. What's going on? Right? But in the back of your mind, you're just thinking like, he has a way to win this fight, right? Like, there's a way he can win this fight. And then, you get to 2 minutes left in the 5th round. You're like, all right, I guess Chael Sonnen is just one of the best fighters ever. I just had never heard of him before, right? He is, by the way. I love Chael Sonnen. I'm not trying to hate on him here. But regardless, 2 minutes left in the 5th round, Anderson Silva throws up a triangle submission that's like, oh my God, what did he just hit him with? And it works. You can't believe it when Chael Sonnen's tapping. It really feels like when, like an episode of Naruto, like Naruto versus Pain or something like that, right? So, like, I mean, I'm not even a big anime fan, but if you got a friend who's an anime fan, like, I feel like they're going to like this fight. Like, it's just, you got that good guy versus bad guy energy, the main character versus antagonist energy. Like, I think it's a really good fight to watch. Side note, too, I always, like, think about when I rewatch this fight, I wonder if Anderson Silva was, like, setting up that triangle the entire fight. Because Chael Sonnen's tapped to triangles, like, more than anyone else ever. Like, he, even in his regional career, I forget what the promotion he was in before UFC was. He tapped to triangles like 3-4 times. So I think there's a chance that Anderson Silva was trying to set that up the whole time. Which, if he is, he's a genius. Like, that was crazy as fuck. But regardless, I think this is a really good fight to watch, especially if you got a friend who, like, really likes anime. I feel like it has that energy to it. So, yeah, I mean, moving on, though. Cody Garbrandt versus Dominic Cruz. This fight was insane. And I know I said before that the criteria for a good fight to put your friend onto is like, exciting fighting styles and crazy knockouts. But this fight, it ends in a decision. The thing is, though, it has so much of the exciting fighting styles part that I don't think it matters, right? Like, for 25 minutes, it's just absolute electricity, right? Cody Garbrandt sold his chin to Satan himself for 25 minutes of pure aura. I kid you not. Like, the whole fight, he's just styling on Reyes. I said Reyes. Cruz the entire time. It's fucking insane. Like, he's hitting him with combos and dancing. And, like, doing, like, throwing his body on the floor and getting back up real quick. Like, he looks crazy in this fight. It's a shame that Cody Garbrandt's career fell off the way it did, because how he looked during this fight was insane. Like, slipping combos. And I mean, you got to understand, Dominic Reyes, he's still considered one of the best in that division of all time. And, like, Cody Garbrandt made him look like a bum. But the thing is, though, Reyes also has a really exciting fighting style that you do see in this fight a bit, too. Like, he has that... I know I said no one ever fought like Yuri Prochazka, but Reyes... Sorry, I keep saying Reyes. Cruz kind of does. He kind of has that style. Like, that hands down, like, weird, like, almost square to his opponent, like, darting in. Crazy fighting style to watch. Dominic Cruz is great fighter to watch, super fun. So yeah, I just think this fight's a banger. If I'm really trying to lock my boys in when I'm putting them on, I lie and I'll be like, yeah, so before this fight, basically, Dominic Cruz, he fucked Cody Garbrandt's girl, and they had like a big beef because in this fight, like Cody really fights like he's trying to get his girl back, dog. Like, I don't condone lying to your friends, man. I don't. But we UFC fans, we got to do what we got to do to have some friends who enjoy the sport. No, I'm just playing, but not really. Like, this is a great fight to watch. Super fun. Everyone's seen this fight. If you're a hardcore, not even hardcore, if you're a UFC fan, you've probably watched this fight on YouTube. I mean, it's a really fun fight to watch. And yeah, I would throw it on if you got friends who are trying to get locked in. Now, before we get to the last one on this list, which is in no particular order, I have an honorable mention. If I'm trying to put my friends on and I have a fight in mind, I'll usually throw this one on first. And you might already know where I'm going with this because it's so short. Jorge Masvidal versus Ben Askren. If your friend knows nothing about UFC, if your friend's never seen a clip of UFC before, I would throw this on because, most people have seen this fight, even if they're like not into UFC whatsoever. This is like the most viral knockout of all time. Maybe Buckley versus that guy Kasangane or whatever, the spinning back kick he got. Maybe that. But other than that, this is the most viral knockout of all time. I think probably this one is because Masvidal is just a bigger name. But like, I just think this fight is really, really fun to put on real quick. You'd be like, again, lie to your friends. Be like, this fight is as a war, bro. Like, both these fighters just put their lives on the line for this one. Like, this is really a fun fight to watch. You throw it on, and it's just over in 5 seconds. I think it's super funny to do, super entertaining. And, yeah, I mean, I would always throw this on if you got a few minutes with your friends. You're just trying to show them some funny shit. And there's some good backstory in that fight, too. Like, they were beefing heavy in the press conferences. You don't have to get into all that, but I'm just trying to say that I think this is it was a great matchup. It would have been interesting to see what would happen if he didn't get flatlined in the first 5 seconds, but, he did, so we'll never know. And I think Masvidal would have scraped him anyway. But that brings us to the last one in this video. Alex Pereira versus Yuri Praska 2. This fight hurt my soul, man. As I said, Yuri Praska is my favorite fighter, but Alex Pereira is also right up there, man. And you're gonna call me a casual for that. I love Alex Pereira, but I swear, I was on that train early, man. I always hated Adesanya, and the second I found out he had like an arch nemesis, I was like, word, that's my favorite fighter. Like the second I found that out, So yeah, it took me a while to think of which fight to put on this list, but I finally decided this one. As much as it hurts me, dog, to see Yuri get done like this, I mean, Alex Pereira is the face of the UFC right now. So like to show, if you're really talking about the best fight to put your friends onto, like if you want to make them UFC fans right now, why not? Fuck that McGregor shit. He hasn't fought in years. All these other fights are super old. Anderson Silva, super old fight. Alex Pereira is the face of the UFC right now. Yuri Prochazka is a top contender in the UFC right now. One of the most popular two of the most popular fighters in the UFC, right? So, this is a great fight to put on. Alex Pereira is the face of the UFC, and this is his best performance, in my opinion. Like, he comes out there, and especially after seeing what Yuri just did to Jamal Hill, like, it just shows how good Pereira is, because he's the second best in the world. I mean, we have to see what Ankalaev does, but Yuri is really, I think he's the second best in the world in that division, right? But, yeah, I mean, this fight, with the face-off in the beginning, where they're just staring, like, they just let it run for like 2 minutes before the fight, just staring at each other. I swear my hair like started sticking up because I was getting static from all the aura. Like, there was just aura coming through my TV, and my hair started standing up. So yeah, if you got a friend who knows a bit about the sport and you're trying to put them on, you got to show them Poatan, man. Like, he comes out just swinging. He gets a little calculated. He hits Yuri with some shit. Few seconds left in the first round, flatlines Yuri, but he gets saved by the bell. But that kind of did him dirty because he comes back out the next round and gets head kick KO'd within 5 seconds. It's basically 2 flatline KOs in one fight, which you're not going to get a whole lot of very often. So, I really think this is one of the best fights to put on, and I think it's definitely going to make a few of your friends fans if they watch this fight, right? But with that being said, guys, that's the end of my first YouTube video. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm going to be making videos as much as possible. I'm very passionate about this sport. I love it. And even though I do have a bunch of friends who are into it, I think they're getting sick of me talking about it all the time. So, I'd like to make this channel just somewhere I can just shoot the shit with you guys. Like, throw whatever you think in the comments. If there's probably be 1 or 2 comments on this video, so I'll respond to them and we'll talk, whatever. And yeah, bro, I'm going to keep making videos. Let me know what you think. Leave a like, subscribe. I hope you enjoyed. See ya.